I want to thank everyone for coming. I'm joined here today, starting from my right, by Captain Colin Cleary, Chief Tom Carter of the Harrisburg Police Department, their boss, Mayor Eric Papenfuss, Mayor of the City of Harrisburg, President Judge Todd Hoover of the Dauphin County Court of Common Pleas, and Chief Jason Umberger, Chief of Police of Swidara Township, and President of the Dauphin County Chiefs of Police Association. We're here today to announce a new anti-violence initiative, a partnership between the county and the city of Harrisburg and the new administration to fight gun violence. In the last decade, even longer, it has been the primary concern of the District Attorney's Office to fight gun violence. We've seen too many young people dying, being shot, being killed, too many young people who have been injured by gun violence, and frankly, too many young people who are spending the rest of their life in prison because they shot someone and killed someone. The police do an outstanding job in the city of Harrisburg and elsewhere in Dauphin County in investigating these crimes, solving these crimes. The District Attorney's Office does an outstanding job, not me, but my staff, some of whom are here today, in prosecuting those tough cases in the courtroom, securing first-degree murder verdicts from our jurors. And our bench in Dauphin County is renowned for being tough on gun crime. If there's a serious murder, if there's another type of aggravated assault and attempted murder, we get outstanding, serious, long sentences from our Court of Common Pleas here in Dauphin County. And that's not the case throughout central Pennsylvania or throughout the Commonwealth. Today we are again working together to announce a project where we are asking the judiciary in our county to set bail at $100,000 cash for anyone who illegally carries a firearm, anyone that faces a felony charge of illegally carrying a firearm. Most of these cases are felons who are not to possess firearms. They've been convicted of a prior crime and they're still carrying a gun illegally. We are not looking to create anything new here. We're using existing laws that we have on the books and asking the minor judiciary, our magisterial district judges, to set bail at $100,000 cash when they see one of these offenders. Too often we see the revolving door in the criminal justice system. Somebody gets charged with a crime. They get low bail, they make bail, they get out. A few weeks later, they're again charged with another crime. And usually it's drugs and guns that we're talking about in this particular area. And it's frustrating to the police, it's frustrating to prosecutors, and it's frustrating to the citizens who have to deal with this gun violence. This program is based on initiatives that have been piloted in the city of Philadelphia, where they saw a reduction in gun violence in the last year or so in the city of Philadelphia. It's also patterned originally on a program that was initiated by the court in St. Louis, Missouri a few years ago, and they also saw good results initially with the drop-off in gun violence. We are sending a message today. If you illegally carry a gun, you're going to go to jail. You're going to face high bail, $100,000 cash, and unless you have that type of money at your disposal, if you're illegally carrying a firearm, prepare to go to Dauphin County Prison. Gun crime is going to equal jail time, and that's what we are telling you from the start. From the time you're arrested, you're going to go to jail, and then if successfully prosecuted, we're going to seek, as we always have, long jail sentences. At this time, it's my pleasure to turn the podium over to His Honor, the Mayor of Harrisburg, Eric Papenfuss. Mayor?
Thank you, sir. I just want to reiterate a few things. First of all, the message is clear. We have an epidemic of gun violence here in the city and the region. The overwhelming majority of it stemming from the use of illegal weapons. And the message here today is, if you mess around with an illegal weapon, you're going to jail, period. That message has served as an effective deterrent in St. Louis, in Philadelphia, and elsewhere, especially among youth whose behavior is sometimes impulsive, if we can get them to think twice about picking up that illegal gun and carrying it with them, we can reduce homicides, we can reduce gun violence. So, message number one, we're not going to tolerate this epidemic of illegal gun usage any further. Message number two, this is part of a bipartisan, intergovernmental, collective strategy that is going to pay dividends for the residents of Harrisburg and the county at large. You have Democrats, you have Republicans before you, you have folks from the city, the county, surrounding municipalities. We're all sending the same message. We're all on the same page. We're all working together. That's tremendously, tremendously important. And thirdly, we're talking about illegal guns here. Nothing here is infringing on anyone's Second Amendment rights to bear arms. It's illegal to carry an illegal gun, and now you're going to go to jail. That's the clear message that we want to send. We want to send it far and wide. We want everyone to hear it. And we want, in Harrisburg, the residents of this city and in Dauphin County at large, all to be beneficiaries of a safer city and a safer region, because individuals are going to think twice about now carrying with them an illegal weapon. And if you have an illegal weapon and you want to turn that illegal weapon in over the course of the next week, this new policy will not go into effect until the 21st, so you have a week to turn that weapon in, and as long as that weapon has not been used in a crime, there'll be no penalty for turning it in. So please hand it over to the Harrisburg City Police. With that, Chief, would you like to make a few comments?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, DA, President Judge, and Chief Umberger for Sweater Township. This is an effort put together by the county, Dauphin County, by the President Judge, the DA's office, the Mayor's office. We are tired of this gun violence. When a person gets shot out there, it is not by accident. There are acts of violence, and they're usually targeting people. A mistake, no. People are out there committing deliberate acts towards someone else, and we're just tired of it. We are no longer offering money. This is not a gun buyback program. We're saying to you, come surrender your weapon either to Harrisburg City Police. It's one location. The phone number is 558-6900 to Dauphin County Dispatch. If you cannot bring the weapon down to our station, you can call dispatch, and an officer will come pick your weapon up. You can call Sweater Township. That's our second drop-off location. The same number, I believe, 558-6900.
Yes, sir.
And you can either drop it off at Sweater Township, or officers out in Sweater, they will come pick it up. Our third location on behalf of Chief Martin, he is not here, Susquehanna Township. The same number, 558-6900, either go to Susquehanna Township, ask for an officer, or come there and you can drop those weapons off. Illegal handguns, that's what we're after. That's what we're after. We're after felons carrying handguns. Before, in the past, we would catch people with like 3 different times with like handguns on them, and the penalty wasn't as stiff. We're asking for $100,000 cash bail. And this is about looking out for our youth. This is about educating our youth. This is about making this county grow, the city grow. This is about bringing a calm to our area. Chief?
Thank you. I want to thank the leadership here demonstrated by District Attorney Marsico, the President, Judge Todd Hoover, and Mayor Pappenfuse. It's very important that we in law enforcement have the support of the court system, the prosecutor's office, and the judicial system as we go out and try to administer justice. It's a new day in the Harrisburg region. We have always had good relationships, working relationships among police departments, but they are even more strengthened now. Chief Carter and I talk on a regular basis. We meet. That's unprecedented in at least the 20-some years that I've been involved in law enforcement here in Dauphin County. We are committed, the Dauphin County Chiefs of Police Association, to ending gun violence, not only in our city, but across all of our communities, because our city is the center of our community, our downtown area, and this is the capital city of Pennsylvania, and we want it to be safe and the surrounding communities to be safe. So we have redoubled our efforts, and we are working together even harder to make our streets safe for people to live and work in Dauphin County in the city of Harrisburg.
Thanks, Jason. Again, I want to thank everyone. I know Judge Hoover's just here. He's not going to speak, but thank the court for their support in helping us roll this program out. Be glad to take any questions at this time.
You know, go ahead. So this apply countywide?
This is countywide, correct. No, this is countywide. This is a countywide project. You know, gun violence is a problem whether it's in Lykens, Middletown, or the city of Harrisburg. Now, obviously, you guys cover the news. Unfortunately, for better or worse, most of our serious gun violence is in the city of Harrisburg. We recognize that, but it's you know, a countywide effort.
Have you had any conversations with the magistrates?
Yes.
About this?
Yes.
How is this expected?
Judge Hoover invited me to visit with the magisterial district judges about a week or so ago. We gave them, you know, an overview of this idea, and they're very receptive, you know, to working with us. Well, we're hopeful that it just sends a clear message that if you're carrying an illegal firearm, you're going right to jail. You're not going to go home for the night after you go to our central booking center or to night court. You're going to go to jail, and you're going to sit there and wait for your case to go to trial. So, you know, this is simple. You know, you want to carry a firearm illegally, you need $100,000 cash to get out of jail. We're trying to keep it simple and just get that message out there, and we'll hope that, you know, at least some individuals will think twice before carrying an illegal firearm. There's way too many individuals that are illegally carrying guns, you know, like you carry your camera around, like I carry a cell phone. It's a part of the daily wardrobe, and we've got to start changing that mentality, changing that culture, and if stepped up law enforcement is what we need to do it, we're going to at least try it.
And Mr. Marstow, when we talk about $100,000 cash, and we're not talking about 10% of that, you must have $100,000.
We're asking for $100,000 cash on these. You know, these are felons carrying illegal weapons.
You know, Mayor Papenfuss has talked about as a deterrent, but first and foremost, is it about keeping repeat offenders off the street, or does it kind of go together?
I think it goes together. There's a specific deterrent in, you know, we have someone who was illegally carrying a firearm who probably would, you know, not too far away from using it. That person's going to be locked up. So the streets are going to be safer because that person's not on the streets carrying a firearm. But as a general deterrent, we're hopeful that getting the message out today, you know, that individuals won't be illegally carrying firearms.
And then what you had mentioned, you explained to me 3 times and it still didn't register. When we're talking about $100,000, we're talking about $100,000 for somebody that has a previous felony record, or does this apply to everyone?
Mostly what we see, Mark, are what we call, it's called person not to possess a firearm. And that's somebody that's being convicted of a prior offense. You know, not every prior offense leads to that disability, but most felonies do. We refer to it in shorthands as a felon not to possess, is how you'll hear us talk about it. So, you know, someone that is not able to possess a weapon is who we're targeting here. These are felony charges that are brought. There's some differences in the Firearms Act where we're not asking for this, but we're talking about people here who aren't allowed to carry or possess a firearm. That's who we're after.
After Monday, I know you're giving people a week to call you if they have guns. What happens after Monday if they still decide they want to come forward?
Well, I mean, I think we're urging people now before this program kicks off next Monday to turn in any firearm you have. You know, that's an illegal weapon, and hopefully we'll get some firearms off the streets. At any time going forward, we're always receptive. You know, it's a lot easier if it's next Tuesday, April 22nd, to call the police and turn in that firearm rather than the police stopping you. You know, the charges are going to be a lot different, and how we feel about your behavior is going to be a lot different at that time. So, you know, ongoing, I hope the message is you can always turn in an illegal firearm. we're very receptive to that. We want those firearms off the street. Donna. That will be up to the judge. We get a fair amount. I know in the city of Harrisburg alone, we get a few a week on those charges. Sometimes it's somebody down there that committed a robbery that has a gun on them, but a lot of times it's just a gun possession charge where they're illegally carrying a firearm. We get a couple a week is what I'd say. The bail ranges. The bail varies depending on who the judge is and what particular night it is, to be honest with you. That's one of the frustrations the police have with some of these gun charges is seeing some very low bail on these charges. It's a lot of bail. It's a lot of bail, but it's the most serious, among the most serious charges we have and what leads to, that violence.
Should there be a state law for this, so that way some discretion for the judicial system?
Bail's designed for a couple of things. One, public safety is a component of bail. The nature of the offense charged is one of the first thing our bail rules refer to. But as we know, the other main purpose of bail is to ensure that someone's going to show up for court. So there's a lot of considerations that go into that. Is the person local? Do they have a job? A variety of different factors. The state is looking through our sentencing commission at standardizing recommendations for bail, but they haven't had. That's been recommended by the legislature, but they haven't had funding to carry that out the last few years. But I think you'll see that not in the next few months, but in the next few years.
So if, Mr. Marsico, if somebody goes in with a felony record and they have a gun, will that magistrate then automatically throw down that $100,000?
We hope so, and if they don't,
is it still the judgment call?
Oh yeah,
Right, okay.
I don't have that power. That's the judge's power. So.
Were there any concerns about the constitutionality of doing this? Because
No.
other places have done this, that question's been raised by defense attorneys.
Correct.
The point of bail is to get people to show up, not to punish them.
But while bail is to ensure someone's appearance, in Pennsylvania, in the 20-some years I've been in this office, we've seen bail change. It used to be every offense other than murder, you were entitled to some type of bail. We changed our Constitution several years ago because of public safety concerns. If there's nothing else that can safeguard the community, now a judge can elect to set no bail, even on offenses that aren't murder offenses. So, and the rules of criminal procedure that provide for bail, they're promulgated by our Supreme Court in Pennsylvania. The nature of the offense is the first factor, the first criterion of a lot of criteria to be looked at by a court in setting bail. So I think this is constitutional, or else we wouldn't be here recommending it today. Thank you all for. Correct. We're also recommending that any juvenile charged under similar sections be detained in a juvenile detention facility. That's currently happening, but I don't think there's been a lot of publicity about that. Our juvenile probation office has done that routinely because of firearm violence involving juveniles. But again, Don, I'm glad you brought that up. I neglected to. They'll detain. They have what's called a detention hearing, which in the juvenile system has to happen rather rapidly. Within 3 days, actually, after their offense. So, but they would be detained until that hearing where they'd go before a master that we have in Dauphin County that determines whether they should continue to be detained. But sure, the mayor and the chief can talk about, we see so many juveniles using these guns, and a lot of them are actively involved in the gun trade and drug trade. Others are more unwitting and used by older, wiser drug dealers and gun-toting guys. The Juvenile Act has different purposes, as you well know. Yeah.
I just want to thank you for bringing up the juvenile aspect of this, because I think that's really important, and we want that message to be heard loud and clear. If you're 15 or you're 16, don't pick up that illegal gun. Don't do it, because if you're caught, you're not sleeping in your own bed. You will be detained. And it is a clear, unequivocal message. And as I said earlier, our youth need to hear that. A lot of their decisions can be made impulsively. They can be made looking really not towards long-term consequences, but rather short-term consequences. And there's going to be a short-term consequence if you're caught holding that illegal gun and you're 15 or 16 and you won't be going home. Not until after your hearing.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.